Hi, welcome to my video on review number 1 on the absolute value function. And as in my previous units, a review can be treated as a quiz, and this one could be marked out of 36. So this is the first page of 5. There's 4 more pages to come. So you can score your mark on the side of each question, total up the bottom of the page, and do that for the next 4 sheets. And then when you're finished, put your score out of 36, divide 36 into the numerator, get a decimal, move your decimal 2 places to the right to get your percentage. So here we go. Treat it as a quiz. Pause your video, and when you look at the sheet and work each of these out, and then give yourself some marks. Find each. The absolute value of negative 6 is 6, always positive, so give yourself a mark. 2 times the absolute value of 4 is 2 times absolute value of 4 is 4. 2 times 4 is 8. Give yourself a mark. Now we have to work, notice we can't work this absolute value, that's just a plus sign. So we have to do the absolute value of negative 12 is 12. Plus, we have to work out the inside of this first, so that's the absolute value of negative 20 divided by negative 4 is 5. So the absolute value of 5 is 5. Now that we have those done, we'll multiply first. 3 into 12 goes 4, so that's an 8 plus 5 gives us 13. We have to do PEMDAS, so we simplify the inside of each absolute value first, and then we did the multiplication before addition. And give yourself a mark if you have 13. The parent or base equation of the absolute value function, linear, is y equals the absolute value of x. Linear, because the inside of this could be a quadratic, a cubic, a square root, could be anything. But to be a linear, I just have the absolute value of x. Give yourself a mark. Number 3, we're going to use these equations to answer these questions. Which equation above in number 3 has a reflection in the x-axis? A reflection in the x-axis has a negative with the a. There's a positive. Nope, it goes up right. That's a negative. This is the one, b, with the negative right here. The absolute value opens down. Translated 1 right, that's involved inside. This is a minus 3, so that's 3 right. This is a plus 1. So that's a 1 left, and this is a minus 1, so that's 1 right. So 1 right is C. A vertical stretch of 2, that means the A value. So that's 2, 3, and 1, so A is the answer. And the vertical stretch is always positive, it's never negative. Translated 6 down, so that's affecting the value outside. This is plus 6. So this is up 6, that's 6 down, that's up 2. So 6 down is B. For each of these letters, give yourself a mark if you have them right. Number 4, write the equation as A outside the absolute value of x minus h plus k if reflected in the x-axis. So y, if it's reflected in the x-axis, that means we have a negative. If it's translated 2 units left, translated 2 units left, that's a minus 2, so therefore it's an x plus 2 because it's opposite. And it's translated 1 unit up, so that's a plus 1. So that means there's no vertical stretch. The vertical stretch is 1. So if you have this equation, give yourself a mark. Total up the page and give yourself a mark out of 9. Hopefully everything is going okay. And also remember that the questions are done in order. The questions on this review is done in the order of the videos. Just to keep that straight. Write the mapping rule for this absolute value. The mapping rule is x comma y map to. That's the basic parent equation. So the mapping rule, let's look at the x first. This is x minus 2, so the opposite of a minus 2 is a plus 2. And it's 3/4 times y minus 7. So you only have to change x minus 2 because it's moving 2. That's a minus, so it's moving 2 to the right. So x plus 2, and you go 3/4 y minus 7. If you have that rule, give yourself a mark. State the domain of the absolute value function. This is the absolute value function, and the domain of any linear absolute value function is always x belong to the real numbers. Give yourself a mark. The domain is the x value, the range is the y values. So you have to get the vertex first. The vertex is x's opposite of plus 4 is a minus 4 comma 7. So the vertex is, a minus 7. So it's y and a minus 7. Notice that this is negative. Because this is negative, that means it's opening down. It's a V shape opening down. And opening down, it means that the values of y are going to be less than equal to negative 7. So if your y is less than or equal to negative 7, give yourself a mark. And number 8, we want to graph this absolute value equation using the mapping rule. Well, the mapping rule is x, y as the basic, and it's an x plus 1, so there's an x minus 1, 2y minus 3. And the basic is x, y, so the basic equation or the parent equation is y equals the absolute value of x. So the numbers I use is 2, 1, 0, negative 1, negative 2. The absolute value of 2 is 2, absolute value of 1 is 1, absolute value of 0 is 0, negative 1, absolute value is 1, absolute value of negative 2 is 2. So that's the parent equation. So I want to graph. I'm going to graph. Now, this is the mapping rule, so I'm going to take these values of x and plug it in here. So x is 2, 2 minus 1. So this is this equation. So 2 minus 1 is 1. 1 minus 1 is 0. Put a 0 in. 0 minus 1 is negative 1. Put a negative 1 in. Negative 1, negative 1, negative 2. Notice the order. 1, 0, negative 1, negative 2. So this should be negative 3. Negative 2 subbed in the mapping rule. Negative 2, negative 1, negative 3. Now I'm going to put these y values in the mapping rule. So 2 goes in the place of y. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 minus 3 is 1. So 2 is also here. So that means that's a 1. So let's put a 1 in. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 minus 3 is negative 1. So that means this is a negative 1. Because that's a 1. So 1, 1, same values of y. Put a 0 in. 0 in the place of y gives me 2 times 0 is 0, negative 3. So we want to map. So 1 gives us 1. 0, negative 2. 0, negative 1. And we got negative 1, negative 3. X is negative 1, negative 3. Now we have negative 2, negative 1. Negative 2 is a negative 1. And we got negative 3 gives us 1. Negative 3 gives us 1. And we use the ruler to draw that. And line up. Notice absolute value is a linear. And this linear is a V shape. Notice the V shape. Notice it's a linear because the inside is x plus 1. So it's a V shape. Notice it's going up. And notice also that this is the slope 2 over 1. Let's see. Up 2, right 1. Up 2, right 1. That's the positive side. This is the negative side. Up 2, left 1. Up 2, left 1. So everything holds true. So 5 marks. So for 5 marks, if you wrote the mapping rule, you have mapping rule I'm going to give 2. If you do this table of values, you get 1. If you did this table of values, you get 1. And if you did the graph, you get 1. And you got 5 marks altogether. Now let's do number 9. Remember, don't forget, pause the video and work out your answers. graph this absolute value equation using the vertex and the slope. So absolute value, the vertex is opposite of negative 3 is 3 and a plus 2. A is the vertical stretch, which is the slope, and the slope is 1/2. A is a half. Now, we could write a negative 1/2 there, but the negative only means that it's going down from the vertex. So the vertex is 3, 2. X is 3. Y is 2. There's the vertex. And it's going downward, so we can go down 1, right 2. Also, we can go down 1, right 2 more. So it's right there. Or we can go down 1, left 2. Down 1, left 2. So notice it's opening downward. So there it is. And I didn't extend that over, but I put the dot in the approximate location. There it is. So notice the vertex is the 3, 2, and the slope is down 1, right 2, and it's because it's negative, it's opening downward. So 5 marks. So if you wrote the vertex, you get a mark. If you did the slope, you get a mark. If you said it was going, notice it was going down as a mark. And if you did your graph, so going down, you got a mark. And if you got your graph down, you get 2 more marks. So there's your 5 marks. Total up your page at a 13. Hopefully everything's going well. And we have number 10. State the equation of each absolute value function. Okay, so let's see. To get the equation, the absolute value function is y equals a outside of x minus h absolute value plus k. So let's do the vertex. Let's get the vertex. The vertex is x's. Let's fill in that there. X is negative 1, y is negative 2. So the vertex is negative 1, negative 2. So that means we got a negative 1, so this is x plus 1. And minus 2, so that's filled in. Notice it's going upward, so that's a plus because it's going upward. And we can do the slope, and the slope is, let's see, from this point to this point, we go 1, 2, 3, up 3, right 1. So the slope is 3 over 1 or 3. So the slope is 3. So remember, this is the positive side, this is the negative side. Positive goes up to the right, negative goes up to the left. So this is the equation. So you can leave out the plus sign. 3 absolute value of x plus 1 minus 2. So 4 marks. If you have the vertex, you're okay. If you have the slope, you're okay. If you have going upward a plus, you have the equation, final equation. So it's a mark, mark, mark. And if you put it in the correct way, you got 4 marks. Now, B, the axis of symmetry is x equals negative 4, maximum value of 3, and the slope is plus or minus a half. So you got slope is a plus half. So the slope is a plus or minus. We can put the half in because plus is one side, the minus is the other. Okay, absolute value. Now, the axis of symmetry is x equals 4. That means that this is going to be an x plus 4. Because if you think about it, if you have an axis of symmetry, the maximum value is the y value. So the maximum value is the y value. Because the maximum value is in the vertex. So the maximum value is 3. So that means your vertex is going to be, the y is going to be 3. The axis of symmetry is a negative 4. So if the y value maximum is 3 and the axis of symmetry is a negative 4, so what happens? the absolute value is doing this. And the axis of symmetry is down like that. So that's x equals -4. So the vertex is the axis of symmetry passes through the x coordinate of the vertex. So that's an x plus 4. That's a plus 3. And if that's the maximum, that means the absolute value is opening down. So that's a negative. So if you have this, you get a mark. If you have put it in the equation, you get it right. If you put the slope in, you get a mark. If you put the negative in, you get a mark. So 4 marks altogether. 2 for the vertex, and that's 4 altogether. So here's the equation. If you get the equation, you get your 4 marks. And evaluate. Evaluate when x is -10. So we got to sub in a -10 for x. So we work out the inside of it first. That's the -7. The absolute value of -7 is 7. We multiply in -28 plus 11 gives us a -17. So if you're -17, you get a mark. Number 12, we have to solve. And to solve equal signs, so it's the negative of 2x plus 3 equals 5, or the positive of 2x plus 3 equals 5. -1 times is -2x minus 3 equals 5. -2x equals 5 plus 3. That's an 8. Divide by -2. X is equal to -4. 2x plus 3 equals 5. The plus, when you multiply, don't change it. 2x equals 5 minus a 5. So 2x equals 2. Divide by 2. X equals 1. So if you have a -4, you got a mark. If you have 1, you got a mark. 2 marks altogether. And again, just check quickly. Take x is 1, put a 1 in. 2 times 1 is 2, plus 3 is 5, absolute value 5. Put a -4 in. 2 times -4 is -8. -8 plus 3 is -5. Absolute value of -5 is 5. So these are the 2 answers. Total up your page is out of 11. Okay, and the last one in this review, number 1. Solve for x. Again, to solve these, we isolate the absolute value, but you're working the reverse of P, E, M, D, A, S. This is the order that you simplify an expression. But in solving, we reverse the order. We do the addition and subtraction because we have to isolate the absolute value. -17 minus 5. Plus becomes a minus when you move it over. Transposing. That gives us a -22. Divide by -2, so the absolute value of x minus 6 equals 11. So again, we did move the addition, done. Now we're doing the division, done. And now we're no exponents, so we're doing the brackets. So we got the negative of x minus 6 equals 11, or the positive of x minus 6 equals 11. -1 times x minus 6 is -x plus 6, 11. -x is 11 minus 6. -x is 5. Divide by -1. X is equal to -5. X minus 6 equals 11 because it don't change with the plus. 11 plus 6, x is 17. And if you check by plugging it back in, so you have, this is 1 mark for getting this equation, 1 mark for this answer, and 1 mark for this answer, 3 altogether, and 3 for that page. And when you total them all up, hopefully everything is a good score. The best score you can get on this review is 36. Put your mark over 36, divide to get a decimal, move your place two places to the right to get the percent. And hopefully you know about the videos that we've done on our first unit review. Okay. Thank you very much for, thank you very much for viewing my video. Bye-bye. Oh, I forgot to do the page. If you like my video, click on the like button, subscribe button, visit my math website, www.mathfullyexplained.com, to find more information about me, my videos, and the content on my YouTube channel called Math Fully Explained. Thank you for viewing my video. Bye-bye.